The work and idea to rebrand the American Academy of Physician Assistants really emanated from a lot of dialogue we've been having with members from throughout the country and from some research we had conducted over the past couple of years, which really began to inform us of some strengths and opportunities in terms of positioning the organization and the profession more strongly.
We've done great things on behalf of the PA profession, but we've never really promoted that or even let anybody know about our efforts and our successes. So I'd like to see that come out of our new rebrand.
I've been here about 7 years, and for 7 years I've articulated a need for a brand, a more consistent message, some platforms that were relevant to what the AAPA is today, and it really has not galvanized until we came in with a new strategic planning process and Bill Lineweber's new direction.
We've got new leadership from at the top of the Academy in Bill. He's putting together a staff of professionals. He's taking on a board that is eager to move forward. We're representing a profession that's been around for over 40 years, but really isn't recognized for what it does. The brand is something that we can use to build on.
AAPA is really enthusiastic about undertaking this, pretty big process, and they've been so receptive to really working with Brunner on the very scientific way we like to approach the rebrand.
The brand is very key to any organization's thriving, whether it's for-profit, not-for-profit, cause-related or not. The brand is what people feel about your organization, and it's a reason for them to affiliate with you and a reason for them to affiliate with others that are involved as well. So, if you don't have that personality that emanates from your core values, if you don't have a mission that's aligned with your messaging platforms, if you don't have a verbal and visual identity that speaks to the audience and allows the audience to speak to that back at you and give you information that you need to further progress, you're going to be encumbered by that.
I think we have to look at what the organization is currently doing and what they want to do. You want to make sure that any messaging that you create is going to be believable.
I'm going to practice with 3 doctors, but I also have my own patients that I see and provide treatment for.
Doctors don't always have time to see a large number of patients, so PAs can step in and cover patient visits, handle the treatment, write the prescriptions, and take care of those smaller things. I think the AAPA should really focus on educating physicians and the community at large. They need to know why doctors should hire PAs and why patients should want to see a PA and what the benefits are for both of those positions.
There is nobody else out there who is advocating for PAs the way that we do. There's nobody else who can speak to the role of PAs the way that we do. And that if we weren't at the table with some of these groups when they're meeting, there is no PA voice, at that group. So I think it's an important role for AAPA to have.
Connection was a word that rose to the top fairly quickly in our discussion. It was very obvious to us that the PA is part of this healthcare team, this group of people that includes, definitely the physician and other members of the practice, possibly, RNs and individuals like that. It also includes the patient, and that this team is sort of all working together to, to try and improve healthcare.
I guess I had never quite thought of us as the connector organization before, but really it speaks very appropriately to the type of work that I do, which is really bringing PAs to other audiences than just PAs.
Well, I think as an association and in today's world, dealing with people, dealing with the way people communicate now, I think connecting people is key.
So I felt very strongly that we needed to make sure that we represented the profession in terms of the entire healthcare universe and what its role is in the universe. So where we were going with it, I was pushing for some action-oriented taglines and something that really established the profession as an action, as an implementer of change.
One of the things that we had heard from AAPA as they started to delve into their mission statement was about this idea of transformation, which had to do with the bigger healthcare picture. So AAPA obviously very involved with the PAs themselves, but what's the bigger picture for healthcare?
Yeah, we took a look at all their communication materials, laid them out just to see what kind of a range we were looking at for this logo to go onto, just to see, you know, what the parameters were, where it was going to fall, and notice that there's not as much as most associations that we dealt with in the past.
When you're looking at it day to day and you see pieces come and go from different departments, you think, well, we're doing a good job. But when you look at it in a mapping process, as we did, you can see, you know, across media and across pieces that we really haven't done as much as we might want to do. And the challenge is to reach people better.
They like to engage within the marketing team at AAPA, but also, you know, other departments within the academy, so that it's not something that's created in a silo. It's not surprise, you know, here's your new rebrand. Everyone knows that there's input.
I think the graphical representation of AAPA is most important. In a lot of ways, people really respond to visuals, and in many parts of AAPA, just the graphic will show up and maybe no other messaging behind it. So a new logo is important.
To me, other dynamics of the logo had to show some stability, strength, and some movement, some action, because that's what we want to portray. I know we looked at some linear presentations, some very nice ones, but static to me. So I was pushing for something that was a little bit more dynamic, that showed movement, that said movement, that had a movement feel to it, and also was grounded in some strength. At the same time, I didn't think that anything too radical was going to fly with the leadership or the membership, or for that matter, the staff.
Emanating from the mission and vision statement through the core values, through the personality traits, I think that we've done a really nice visual and verbal identity job here.
We're going to have every effort behind us to be sure that it is cohesive and that we have consistency throughout when we're talking with members, non-members, political activists and lobbyists. Any parts of us, we're all going to be speaking the same language, which will hopefully be a bigger force for the PA profession.
A logo and a tagline are important, and they can have impact and make a difference. But standing alone, they don't make or break an organization. Organizations thrive and develop based on the involvement and engagement of active members, strong relationships among and between members, strong partnerships between members and staff. All of that collectively, from my vantage point, really represents the brand of the organization. And I think it's important for us to keep that in mind.